Alzin Tarek, age 10, is the youngest and fastest swimmer in World Championships history. Tarek has been swimming competitively since the age of 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm glad I wowed you.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Today is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Big day for the Super Eagles of Nigeria today when they square up against the Lesotho guys, the Crocodiles of Lesotho. What promises to be the last dance match for the Super Eagles in a bid to make it to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, because this is going to be the penultimate match in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Right there at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in South Africa. Locking on today. All hands in glove. So much at stake. We've got the lifeline, but then it's yet to be known whether or not to be making good use of it. The Super Eagles of Nigeria in action tonight. Don't forget, it has been not too good. Topsy-turvy qualifiers has been when you talk about the FIFA World Cup for 2026. A couple of African nations are already through to the World Cup. Talk about the likes of Morocco, the likes of Egypt, the likes of Algeria. Other nations are still on the brink because they just got one leg in, like as we speak. Talk about the likes of Ghana. But then the Super Eagles of Nigeria as well as South Africa is going to be the battle till the last day. Right there. So much to talk about, so much to look into on this show this morning. I'll also talk about qualifiers right there in Europe with the English national team also having one leg in already. Yesterday made it 7 matches when they've gone unbeaten under the tutelage of Thomas Tuchel, and also their goalkeeper Jordan Pickford also maintaining a certain number, an amazing number, that is 8 clean sheets is kept right now for the English national team. Amazing feat right there. I'll talk about other sports on the show. This one will go straight into the world of tennis. We're going to serve you bits coming through from the Shanghai Masters. Novak Djokovic are waxing strong. Still looking forward to win that particular ATP Tour 1000 event for one more time. Talk about football on the home front. Nigerian Premier Football League match week 8 matches set to be played this weekend right here on the home front. Talk about the world of boxing. Moses Ituma is said to be bowing come December because Joe Parker is saying, look here, that is when I want us to bow, and possibly we'll be seeing Anthony Joshua in the bow once again either December or early 2026. I'll serve you more of those stories on the show this morning. Sports in a Jiffy on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. If this is the first time you're tuning in, welcome aboard this ride. We serve this package Monday to Fridays, 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10. I call it your early morning sport tonic because the early bird has gone around the world to catch the scores, and I'll be more than willing to serve them to you, serving to you fast, but out of fact, I'm making it come past your listening pleasure, whether a sports person, you are just someone who loves the thrill of the game, or maybe an athlete yourself. I tell you, this is the right place for you to be. This is just the first installment, tiptoeing through of the major stories in bits and in pieces, because we'll be back later this evening, 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Up Show, where we'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. The Friday edition of the show this evening is going to be just football, and that's where we'll preview all of the amazing actions that will be going down this weekend. You definitely want to be a part of it. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show this morning. Here's a short reminder that you can join us on our social media platforms. We are currently live on our Facebook fan page at impact Radio 102.1 FM. Also live on YouTube at impact 102.1 FM. To the switch of the back of the net right about now, we'll be getting the show on the road. All eyes, like I mentioned, on the new Peter Mokaba Stadium in South Africa. Today, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be locking on with the Crocodiles of Lesotho. An amazing game it promises to be for us. Don't forget that the Super Eagles were almost certain to miss out on the consecutive World Cup finals after this September 1-0 draw against South Africa as Bafana. But then there's a bit of lifeline when South Africa were now dogged for fielding an ineligible player, narrowing the gap at the top of the Group C. Nigeria are just 3 points adrift of Benin and South Africa with 2 games in hand, reshaping the qualification race and also keeping the hopes alive. A decisive game for the Super Eagles, because Nigeria cannot afford to lose either of their remaining 2 matches, starting from today's fixture against Lesotho. And we must also hope that South Africa manage to slip up in their remaining games against likes of Zimbabwe and also Rwanda. The Zimbabwe guys, by the way, they looks like one team that will be giving South Africa a run for their money. Looks like they are very much ready to be the spoiler in the group, and we are hoping that they will be the ones that will help Nigeria to put Sansan inside of South Africa's Gary. A bit of shake-up is still going to be happening when it comes to the African qualifier, because there's one thing we call the Eritrea factor right now. Don't forget that Eritrea withdrew from the qualifiers, and it's been said that points are still going to be deducted from the 2 bottom teams, the teams that have played against them. Let's take for example now the points that are being garnered by South Africa against Zimbabwe. If Zimbabwe happens to finish bottom of our group, those points are going to be removed. I'll tell you more about that in the course of the show this evening. Sports Offshore 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Of course, several teams mathematically capable of topping their group, and a win in Polokwane is essential if the Super Eagles definitely want to keep our hopes alive. Yes, definitely we're optimistic. We are not the other stick though, and of course we are also ready for this battle later this evening. Speaking at the press conference yesterday, the Secretary said the team must begin the game aggressively and with full focus. The players are also talking tough, but it's not just about being said, it's about doing it. Let's do the do. Know what? It's enough, but the fans and the football enthusiasts need to see the action being put into play. Don't break our hearts for the second time running. Can you imagine what the fans saw after that outbreak against Ghana the last time out? We want to do the same thing to us. We missed out on the Qatar World Cup. We want us to miss out on the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico World Cup. Come on, bro. Y'all need to do better. So much to talk about, so much to look into. Talking about 8th grade football on the home front. Talk about the Flamingos, who are also out of the country right now in a bid to contest and also to fly the country's flag right there at the FIFA Women's Under-17 World Cup in Morocco. Nigeria's under-17 women's football team, the Flamingos, arrived in Casablanca, Morocco as a Wednesday for what is going to be their 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. The team and the officials landed right there in Casablanca, and they will be staying in Casablanca before they now travel to Rabat for the start of the tournament. They are also in Group C alongside the likes of France, Canada, and also Samoa. The Flamingos will be playing 2 friendly matches, one against New Zealand today and the other against Paraguay next Thursday. Wishing the ladies all the very best right there. Hopefully they back this and they back some back for themselves when they're back to the country. Same cannot be said about the men's side. Still sports in Jiffy right here on 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Serving the very best of stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sports. Straight in the world of boxing this morning, and as it affects athletes of Nigerian descent, or should I say boxers of Nigerian descent. Former WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker has put himself in the running to face British Nigerian prospect Moses Utoma in December. According to promoter Frank Warren, Utoma, who knocked out Dillian White in the first round of their heavyweight encounter in August, will headline a card in Manchester on December 13. However, Parker needs to get past the WBA interim title holder Fabio Wadley on 25th of this month, October, with the winner in prime position to challenge undisputed champion Alexander Usyk. Speaking to newsmen and other newsmen earlier today, Parker expressed his desire to take on Utoma if there was an offer to face one of the boxing's most exciting talents, saying he's young, he's powerful, he's fast, and that would be another fight I would love to take. In the word of Joseph Parker right there, taking the fight because Moses, according to him, is a great talent, and Parker is no stranger to facing some of the heavyweight division biggest punchers. Talk about his last 3 opponents being Deontay Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, and also Martin Bakko, who all are known for their heavy hands, and Parker has beaten each man coming out in flying colors. Still talking boxing on the show this one. It's been said that Anthony Joshua has agreed to fight towering Russian heavyweight Asanbek Mukadov in 2026, with the 6'5" star claiming the former two-time world champion accepted the challenge during an exchange. Mukadov, who is set to face British veteran Dave Allen in an headliner this weekend in Sheffield, revealed he had offered himself as Joshua's next opponent, and the Watford native responded positively. I said, just friendly, and I offered him a next fight. Okay, next year then, and next year they will be doing it together. Joshua has been lined up for a comeback fight in Nigeria early next year following his loss to Daniel Dubois in the world heavyweight title, which was in Wembley Stadium September last year. And the former champion continues to find himself linked to various opponents, with Congolese heavyweight Martin Bako among those expressing interest in fighting him. Bako is a former sparring partner of Joshua, as volunteered to face the British Nigerian boxer in what he described as a rumble in the jungle 2. Okay, we look forward to this particular one, because according to Dr. Ezekiel Adamu, who is a promoter, he staged the successful Cures in the Ring event in Lagos a couple of days ago, where he associated with the likes of American, and it's confirmed that Bako is among several options being considered for Joshua's return. They are targeting early 2026 to the ring in a historic trip to Africa, possibly Lagos or maybe Ghana. And Joshua was first tied to a showdown in Ghana, like I mentioned. However, in recent days, an event featuring the former world champion closer to his roots, Nigeria, has now been floated. Hopefully, this is going to be happening right here in front of our teaming boxing fans, and also our teaming Joshua fans right here in the country. Taking it away from the home front right now, still talking other sports on the show this morning. Right there in the Shanghai Masters, Novak Djokovic said he was just trying to stay alive as he fought through very tough weather to reach the semifinals of the Shanghai Masters. Djokovic beat Belgian player Zilberg 6-7-7-5 at 38 years old, has now become the oldest player to reach the semifinals of a Masters 1000 tournament, and now this is the 80th time he has done so. The Serbian star had problems in the last round due to an injury and was even sick during the match against Yannick Affman, struggling with extreme heat. It's been said that temperatures in eastern China have gone up to 35 degrees Celsius, with 80% humidity during the day. And when asked how he managed to win, Djokovic said, "Pretty much everything. It's been very hard for all the players this week. I am happy I got through." Djokovic is now trying to win his fifth title in Shanghai. Started strong against Bergs and won the first set easily, but Bergs broke Djokovic's serve when he was close to winning the match. In the semifinals, Djokovic will be playing against Valentin Vacheret. Vacheret, who is 26, came through the qualifying rounds and got his biggest win yet, beating 10 seed Olga Rune, defeating him 2-6. 7-6, 6-4. Rooney suffered from cramp towards the end of the match, and thanks to the win, Victorot will now enter the world's top 100 players for the first time in his own career. What a big game for him that was yesterday. And also now, he's got the chance to play against one person who can term to be more like his idol. Talking other sport on this show this morning, and I'll take it back to the home fronts, where fans and table tennis enthusiasts will be witnessing some of the toughest battles in the African game in recent time when the ITTF African Championship begins in Tunis. The African Table Tennis Federation President Waheed Enitan Oshodi has described that. While expressing his high expectation for this year's event, citing the impressive form and quality of players set to compete, Oshodi commended the Tunisian Table Tennis Federation for stepping in to host the tournament following Rwanda's late withdrawal, praising their dedication to the sport and their experience in organizing top-tier events. He also expressed excitement over the strong presence of young talents at the tournament, which will be taking place in Tunis from October 12 to 19, and the event will also be serving as a qualifying competition for the 2026 ITTF World Table Tennis Championship that will be staged in London. With the 2026 edition, we'll be celebrating the centenary of the sport, returning to the city where both International Table Tennis Federation and the first World Championship were founded in the year 1926. Still sports in a Jiffy right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, tiptoeing through the biggest stories making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport on the show this morning. Like I said, I'll be 70 in bits and in pieces, tiptoeing through all of the major stories this morning. I'll be back here later tonight, 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Up Show. We'll be doing 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of viewers, reviews, and all of the interviews, preaching the gospel sport to you for 60 minutes, doing it just the way you like. like it. Talk about all of the in-swingers, talk about the lancer passes, we talk about the slams and the dunks as well. I'll be more than willing to allow you into the ever-exciting world of sport. Back into European talks right now, still in the world of tennis, in the WTA this morning. Of course, whatever your agenda is, I've definitely got you on my agenda. Aryna Sabalenka extended a winning streak at the 1 Open to 20 matches with a straight set victory over Elena Rybakina in the quarterfinals earlier this morning. World number 1 Sabalenka, who is 3-time defending champion in one, beat 8 seed Rybakina 6-3, 6-3, and said the Kazakhstani always pushed me to the limits to get the win. The 27-year-old Belarusian, who is top seed, will face American Jessica Pegula in the semifinals tomorrow, Saturday. And Pegula, who is 31, needed 3 sets to overcome Czech Republican Katerina Siniakova 2-6, 6-0, 6-3 in the last 8 yesterday as well. And according to Opta, Sabalenka is the first female player to win their first 20 main draw matches in a single WTA level event since 1990, after Monica Seles at the Australian Open 33-0, Steffi Graf in Leipzig 25-0, and Karolina Wozniacki in New Haven 20-0. Meanwhile, 60 Pegula was a set down against Nakova before fighting back to take second set on challenge. In Friday's other quarterfinals, third seed Kokugawa will be facing Laura Sigmund, while second seed Igosatek will be taking on Yasmin Paolini, who is seeded 7th right there at the 1 Open. Away from the world of tennis on the show this morning, still bringing you more thoughts coming through from the world of sport right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Sports in a Jiffy it is, and of course I'm serving it to you in a Jiffy. Straight into the world of football on the show this morning. I will start with us coming through from the World Cup qualifiers as they affect African countries. As it is right now, Riyad Mahrez has now led Algeria to a 3-0 win over Somalia last night, helping them become the 4th African team to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The former Manchester City and Leicester star set up Mohamed Amoura's early goal with a cross, then scored a powerful Alvaro Foley in the 19th minute. Mohamed Amoura, by the way, has now been involved in 12 goals in the qualifiers since the start of the qualifiers, becoming Algeria's top scorer right there. With the win, Algeria have now secured first place in Group G with 1 game to play, returning to the World Cup for the first time since 2014 when they lost to Germany in the last 18. Algeria, with the likes of Morocco, Tunisia and Egypt, are already qualified for the 2026 World Cup from Africa, which will be taking place in North and Central America for next year's 2026. Amazing one right there. Other groups are still very much at stake for them right there. Okay, still bringing more updates coming through from the Algerian side. It's been said that the son of Zinedine Zidane, which is Lucas Zidane, has now been called up to the Algerian national team. The 27-year-old goalkeeper was Algerian grandparents said his family supported his decision. My grandfather is proud I chose Algeria, saying before the game last night. While in Group G, bringing updates coming through, Uganda close to second place, with Uganda moving closer to second place in Group G after beating Botswana 1-0. In the final group matches on Monday, Uganda will be playing Algeria away, and Mozambique will be visiting Somalia. In Group H, Liberia are still very much in their own race. Of course, it's been said that only the top team from each group will qualify directly, and only 4 of the best second place teams from 9 groups will go to the African playoffs. In the final game on Monday, Namibia will be facing off against Tunisia, while Liberia will travel to Equatorial Guinea. Other groups trouble in the lineup for Equatorial Guinea, because Malawi match against Equatorial Guinea was cancelled due to unexpected travel problems faced by the away team. And the Equatorial Guinea football body later said head coach Jamaica has been suspended after he and some senior players refused to travel, with assistant coach Castro Napo leading the team in Monday's game against Liberia. Equatorial Guinea and Malawi could still finish second depending on how the results go, and the African football body CAF has not yet said whether the cancelled match will be rescheduled. The second last round of Africa's World Cup group matches ends today. Big teams like Senegal and Ivory Coast could secure qualification if their results go their way in their matches later today as well. And away from the home front on the show this morning, I'll quickly go to international football, where the Three Lions of England showed more exciting attacking football as they comfortably beat poor Wales in a friendly match at Wembley. Manager Thomas Tuchel chose to stick with the same team that won 5-0 against Serbia in September, and the best result of his time in charge so far. And the players performed well. The players scored 3 goals in the first 20 minutes of the encounter, with the manager having to tell the fans that what do you expect the players to do. They scored 3 goals in 20 minutes, and you all are still not making a lot of noise for these players, cheering them on to victory. Rather, it was the Wales fans that were so loud in the stadium overnight. The next game for England is going to be Latvia in the World Cup qualifier on Tuesday. Wales will also be hosting Belgium in their own game in Cardiff right there on Monday. Still sporting in Jiffy on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Quickly going through other matches that we played today in the UEFA World Cup qualifiers. Germany will be hosting Luxembourg. Northern Ireland will be up against Slovakia. While in Group B, Kosovo will be up against Slovenia. Sweden will be hosting Switzerland. In Group D, France will be up against Azerbaijan. Ireland will be up against Ukraine. In Group J, Kazakhstan will be up against national football later today, where Brazil travel to South Korea. And Jordan will be hosting Bolivia. Uruguay up against Dominican Republic. In the Under-21 Championship qualifiers are also on the way. While we move straight to the African qualifiers, matches set to be in place today in Group B. South Sudan will be up against Senegal. Sudan will be hosting Mauritania. Togo will be up against Congo Democratic Republic. And later this evening, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, Lesotho will be hosting Nigeria. Rwanda will be up against Benin Republic. And Zimbabwe will be up against South Africa. In Group F, Gambia will be up against Gabon. Seychelles will be hosting Ivory Coast. While in Group A, Sao Tome and Principe will be hosting Tunisia in their own games today. There are qualifiers in the CONCACAF as well, where Bermuda will be hosting Trinidad and Tobago. Suriname will be hosting Guatemala in their own games later today. Don't forget that MPFL matches also be back this weekend. Match week 8 for the Nigerian Premier Football League. Quickly giving you what to look forward to in the MPFL for this weekend. Matches on Sunday, 12th October. Kun Khalifa will be up against Ayimba. Abia Warriors will be hosting El Kanemi Warriors. Nasra United will be hosting Enugu Rangers. Rookie Tories will host Kwara United. Kano Pillars will be hosting Shooting Star Sports Club. Plateau United will be up against Brau FC. Rivers United up against Bayelsa